Hello, friends. Welcome again to Grilling with Gramps. Today we're going to be tackling beef bolognese lasagna. Fun fact, the first recipe for lasagna was in the 14th century in the Book of Cookery. Who knew? Anyways, let's get started. Here's the ingredients we'll be using today. Ground beef, about a pound and a half. Mozzarella cheese, freshly grated. Onions, diced. Garlic, ricotta, red wine, some pasta sauce, nice red, it's actually a vodka pasta sauce, lasagna noodles, seasoning packet, and salt and pepper. Okay, in this pot, I've put the ground beef in. I'm stirring it on medium heat to high heat, just trying to brown the ground beef. And then over here, we have a pot of water on high, ready for the lasagna noodles. Next, we have beautiful white onions. Aren't those pretty? I love onions. Anyways, dump those in with the ground beef and continue to stir. Stir, stir, stir. All right, the beef has been browned. I've drained out the fat and I use 80/20. And now we add in our zesty spaghetti seasoning packet. Stir that in. Next, we add probably about half a cup of wine. Yeah, somewhere in there. Of course, I didn't have quite half a cup. That will do. And the smell of this is to die for. Next, we'll add in our vodka sauce. And what you can do is add a little wine to the jar and get all the little tidbits out. All right, mix thoroughly. All right, I find using one of these ladles with the teeth on it, I'm not sure what it's called, but it's much easier to handle the lasagna noodles without breaking them. But you just want to move them around until they get nice and soft and are ready to assemble. All right, we got everything pretty much ready to assemble. Got the ricotta cheese. I put it in the microwave and put a little garlic salt on it. I'll mix it up. It's easier to spread around once it's a little bit melted. Obviously, you got the mozzarella cheese. I got the meat sauce, the bolognese, lasagna noodles, and 9x11 pan. Okay, let's assemble. Okay, first thing I do is put a little meat at the bottom of the pan. A lot of times I have experienced this, and maybe you have too, but you start off with the noodles. Sometimes the noodles stick to the bottom. You can also probably just put in some Pam or something, or a little bit of oil at the bottom, but I figure why not just throw in some meat sauce. So that's the first thing I do, just a very thin layer. Next, we will grab our lasagna noodles. Unfortunately, these noodles got a little beat up, but do your best. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, I got the first layer down. Note to self, don't buy store-bought or store brand lasagna noodles. They're just falling apart everywhere. So I'll never do that again. Next is a layer of meat. All right, make sure you get all the way to the edges. All right, after that, it's a nice layer of mozzarella. And once this is done, which it is, the next will be another layer of noodles. That's what I'm dealing with. All right, after that layer, which doesn't look beautiful, but it'll taste good. Now we add the ricotta. Just put a bunch of dollops around, and then you can spread them all around. And after you get this spread in pretty evenly, if you can, I put on another layer of meat sauce. All right. All right. And then more meat. And that's why I go with a pound and a half, just because I find that a pound, I usually come up a wee bit short. So, all right. Just made it. And then finish it off with the final layer of mozzarella. Just want to spread it nice and even so it cooks evenly. That's pretty much it. That's your assembled lasagna. Next, we will pop it in the oven. All right. The oven has been preheated to 350. I'm going to put this in. All right. We're going to bake it for about 50 minutes until the internal temperature is 165. We'll see you then. All right, friends. Time you have been waiting for. The lasagna is done. Looking good. Smelling good. Can't wait to eat it. All right. I'm going to attempt to cut into it. You do want to let this sit and rest for about 15-20 minutes. It's much easier to cut and it stays together. I didn't wait long enough, so it's a little gooey. But boy, does it smell good. It looks not as good as it smells. But anyways, this is my take on lasagna. Hope you guys had fun. Thanks again for joining me.